I'm Tim Tyler from Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage in Maplewood, New Jersey. And I'm here today with your real estate market update. Now it's that time of year, beginning of the year, New Year's and all, and I've had a number of people coming up to me and asking me a question. Hey Tim, how's the real estate market doing? And behind that question is this sort of unstated sentiment. It goes something like this: winter is coming. Now that sentiment kind of occurs at two levels. First of all, yeah, it's January. It's getting cold, getting some of that frozen precipitation. We're in the winter market. Does that mean that, buyers have all hibernated, there's no inventory out there, there's nothing to see, nothing to do, nobody's around? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. There's also a deeper level at which that sentiment is there. And that is for those who maybe have been thinking about selling their home and are thinking, is the seller's market coming to an end? Did I wait too long? Interest rates are creeping up. Inventory is creeping up. Am I not going to be able to sell my home for what I was hoping to get for it? We'll talk a little bit about that in a minute too. But first, let's have a quick look at where we are today. Right now, today, in South Orange and Maplewood, there are 74 homes on the market. That's a pretty decent amount. And since October 1st, there have been 116 sales. And the days on market figure right now, the median days on market is 22 for those homes that have sold. That means that for those homes that have sold, they're selling in about 3 weeks. Now you may be thinking, now wait a minute here. The house up the street from me, it's been on the market for 6 months and I've hardly seen any activity at all. Let me give you a little anomaly here. For those 116 homes that sold, that days on market was 22. But for the 74 homes that are on the market today, their average days on market is 54. So the homes that have sold in 3 weeks or so. The homes that are on the market today, they've been sitting around for 2 months. What's that about? What explains that little anomaly? We're going to come back to that in a minute. But now let's talk about the winter market. Winter is here, right? Well, we all sort of have this image in our head, I think, of what the trend line, the sales trend line, looks like for a typical year. And we start with the spring, let's say, and there it is. The numbers are sky high, everything is wonderful, all sorts of sales everywhere. And then as it goes to the summer, things start to tail off a bit, and you get into fall, and things start to drop off a cliff. And by winter, they're just flatlined. There's just nothing happening. Well, I want to put some real numbers on that, and let's see how that actually stacks up to that mental image that we have of what the trend line looks like. These are the actual numbers for 2018. Throughout 2018, there were 589 sales. The spring, that second quarter, accounted for 33% of those sales. 33% of our sales took place in April, May, June. We move on to the third quarter, your summer sales, 27.5% took place in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, that 116, actually about 112 because a few of those happened in January, that represents 20.7% of the sales for the year. So as you can see, hasn't really tailed off all that much, from 33 down to just 20.7, and now we take the sales from the first quarter and kind of tack them on to the end. That was 18.6%. You look at this trend line, it's a whole lot less drastic than you might have expected. Between the fall and the winter, that still represented 40% of the sales for the year. Now, let's talk a little bit about the future. I am not a psychic. I don't have a crystal ball. Question that's sort of implied in this, is the seller's market over? Best answer I can give to you for that is, I don't know. But I want to talk a little bit about what that might mean if it were the case. Remember, I said, the homes that are on the market, that have been on the market right now, have an average days on market of 54. And I use median rather than average, so that's the median number. The reason I use median is because there's always that one house that's been on the market forever. In this case, as of today, there's one house in South Orange and Maplewood that has been on the market for 1,001 days. This house has been on the market since the Obama administration. It has been on the market through the entire seller's market. Now, if you ask that seller, how's the market? He's going to say, oh, it's awful. Nobody's buying nothing. And yet, I'm pretty sure I could find at least 1,001, at least, in fact, I can find 589 people who sold it in the last year who can say, man, I put my house in the market, it sold in 3 weeks, things are great. So, if we're sitting here in a seller's market and there are homes that aren't selling, what does that look like when you're in a buyer's market? Well, that number, that 22 number that we have, the houses that have actually sold, have been on the market for 22 days, that number has been pretty darn steady throughout at least the past year and a half. 20, 21, 22, never moving very much from that. And I feel pretty confident in saying that number's not going to go very far even in a buyer's market. What am I saying? What I'm saying is this. When a home is in good condition and priced for the condition that it's in, it will sell, and it will sell in about 3 weeks, give or take a few days. And that is the case whether you're in a seller's market or in a buyer's market. If you want to buy a home or sell a home right now, I'm here to help you buy or sell that home, whether it's a spring market or a winter market, whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market. I'm here to help you with your home sale or purchase adventure. I'm Tim Tyler from Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage in Maplewood, New Jersey, and this has been your Market Update.